What the Wiz? No, seriously, what the whiz? I've got them right here. I bought Philips Wiz bulbs. They are not Philips Hue. I walked into Home Depot the other day and there's an entire display of these Philips Wiz Connected bulbs.
Fun fact, they're owned by the parent company of Philips Hue, Signify, who acquired them in 2019.
These are a completely different system. They're running on the Wiz Connected app, and they are Wi-Fi bulbs. Philips Hue works on Zigbee and Bluetooth. Here's the kicker. These are ridiculously inexpensive. This bulb is $13. This LED strip is $45, and the remote accessory is $15.
These are just a few of the many Wiz bulbs and accessories at a very affordable rate, which I've linked in the description.
There are sacrifices though, and you'll decide if these sacrifices are worth it to you. Today, I'm gonna show off the Wiz Connected app, these bulbs and accessory, and even do some comparisons side by side with the Philips Hue bulbs. Let's go. Let's check out the app and I'll show you around. Like Philips Hue, you can create rooms. They give you a whole list, but you can also go in and name it whatever you want to. You can't create zones on here, which means that you can't take lights in separate rooms and create its own room, or what Philips Hue calls zones. If you want to create a zone, you'll need to use your voice assistant's app and interface to create it on there. Where it says warm white, this is where I can access all of the presets and even customize the lighting I want. So as you can see, there is a really long list of presets that are included in the app. On top, you've got all the different types of white. And then if I want to customize the white, I can just move around that line right there. And then if I find one that I like, I can add it. Then you've got simple settings, which are all colors.
Here you can choose a custom color, but it's not nearly as pretty as the Philips Hue color wheels.
And then the dynamic are what are really cool.
These settings will create different vibes by shifting between colors and brightness.
You've got candlelight, which will look like candlelight, and then party, which will synchronize through different colors. I really liked the pulse, just the way that it pulses through the light. Next, you've got progressive, which are 30-minute intervals where the lights either dim or brighten. And these are things that you can add to scenes, which I'll show you in just a second. And then you've got celebrations. They have Christmas and Halloween, which just cycle through a couple colors. When you're creating a scene, it will take whatever the room is set to at that very moment, and it will create that as the scene. So for example, right now, the lights are white. I'm gonna choose the bedroom, and that's what it says. It shows me right here what the room looks like. Right now I only have one light, so it's only showing off one color. Now the great thing is, once you create a scene on this app, it will sync with Amazon and Google if you've set that up. It won't sync, and it doesn't work with HomeKit. The workaround with that is it works with Siri shortcuts, which right here you can see it says add to Siri, and I can add whatever I want to say. So I can say, turn on nighttime, and I can add that to Siri. Now watch this. Hey Siri, turn on nighttime.
Okay, setting using Wiz.
You're not going to get it on your nice HomeKit interface that shows you all of your tech, but you're still able to use your HomePod or your phone, Apple Watch, to start scenes. What I really like about the scenes here is that you can also assign the dynamic scenes that are built into the app into a scene. So if I want to, set the LED strip to candlelight, I can then go over to scenes, press plus, go to bedroom, select that, and it's going to play the candlelight scene whenever I activate this. Next up are rhythms, and it's something that I touched upon in my smart home series, the Philips Hue episode, which you should totally check out. This is the circadian rhythm, how lighting will affect your brain and letting you know if you should be energized, engaged, or relaxed. So it gives you the ability to create your own with 5 different time points and create scenes throughout the day, or you could just take the daylight in the morning, cool light, daylight, and then soft white in the evening, and just assign the times. This is something you can do on the Hue app. I just love the intuitive design on here, and I think that the Hue app would look really great with something like this. Next up, you've got schedules, which is just like routines on the Hue app. With schedules, you can create times of the day where you want scenes to activate and then you want them to end. You can choose the day of the week, you can choose the time, and you can choose the room. Next, you have vacation mode, which will turn off all the schedules you have and simulate as if someone is in your home while you're on vacation.
When it comes to third-party integrations, Wiz checks off many of the boxes. Like I said, they work with Google Home and Amazon Alexa, but they also work with If This Then That and Smartthings. You'll have to use one of these to control lights based on your location using geofencing, and to create scenes and settings that control multiple rooms at the same time. The Hue app can do a lot of this on its own. Now let's look at the hardware.
Meet the Wiz Connected bulb. It kind of looks more like a bulb than the Philips Hue bulb, a traditional bulb. How does that compare to the Philips Hue bulb?
The two seem pretty similar when it comes to white. The first difference I see is red. Wiz is more deep and bright. With orange, Hue gets a bit deeper. Yellow's about the same. Green seems a bit bright with Wiz. Turquoise is way more full with Wiz, and blue is brighter. But Hue takes the lead with purple and magenta. When it comes to dimming, Hue lights dim all the way to 1%, whereas Wiz gets stuck at about 15 to 20%.
Next, you've got the LED strip. This is 6.5 feet long, which is almost exactly the same length as the Philips Hue LED strip.
You can add extenders up to 33 feet, but you can't reconnect old pieces like you can with the new Philips Hue strips.
Let's see how they compare.
Same thing here, the Hue strip can dim incredibly low, while the Wiz strip is stuck at about 15 to 20%. The whites are about the same. Red is brighter with Hue. Wiz can't create yellow or orange, but green is brighter. Turquoise is way more full with Wiz. Blue is the same, and Hue wins again with purple and magenta.
And then there's the easy control. This thing is kind of awesome. You've got an on and off button, a bedtime button, which you can't program. It is just a generic bedtime low dimmed button. You've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are all things that you can preset, whether they're ones that you've created or one of the dynamic scenes that they have on the app. The one thing I've noticed using these Wiz Connected bulbs is that if you turn it off and then back on, it won't come on to its last state. That is something Philips Hue does, and it's, in my opinion, so important because that's kind of the way you want it to work more often than not.
And the controller is designed to work even if you lose Wi-Fi connection.
The Wiz Connected bulbs are so inexpensive, and perhaps for a very simple setup, this could be a really smart solution, especially with accessories like this remote. You can have a few laying around.
Here are the pros and cons compared to Philips Hue. Wiz is much cheaper with colored bulbs starting at $13 a piece. You can control them from anywhere. They've got great dynamic modes, which you can build into scenes. They work with major voice assistants and third-party systems. They don't dim as low as Hue. They won't go back to their last state when turned back on using a remote or app. You can't create zones or scenes that control multiple rooms at a time. You'll have to use your voice assistants for that. And they do not support HomeKit, so if that's you, I don't recommend these. And I haven't even begun to take into account all of Philips Hue's fixtures, light strips and bulbs, third-party apps, and the Hue Sync Box system, all of which I've covered on my channel.
Let me know in the comments if you're gonna stick with Philips Hue, check out the Wiz, or maybe combine both of them in your smart home. Personally, I'm gonna stick with Philips Hue for all the reasons I listed to you, but hey, $13 for a smart bulb, not bad. That's all I've got for you guys today. Why don't you check out my other smart home videos right there, and there. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, click that bell for alerts. I'm Justin, and I'll tech you later. They're pretty much the same size, but it is, oh shoot.